Hello, hi everyone. Thanks for joining Megaport Live Tech. I'm the host for today's session. It's a global weekly webinar that we are running. So basically, it's just an very informal tech chat. So we do have a topic today, and for today's session, I'll be sharing about Megaport 101, back to basic. I'll be sharing some resources that you might or might not be aware of. Then I'll be doing some simple demo, and then I'll leave the last part for Q&A. So here's a little bit about me. I'm Serena Toh, the pre-sales solution architect at Megaport. I'm based in Singapore. So if you have any requirements or question that you want to connect to me, you can find me at my email address, serena.toh@megaport.com. Likewise, you could also connect me to LinkedIn as below. Yeah, so today I have my colleague Kimi from Japan, who is based in Japan, to join me for the Q&A. So if you have any questions, through LinkedIn or through Zoom, you can just post the questions, then we'll get it answered at the end of the Q&A. Yeah. So let's get started. So who is Megaport and how are we doing today? So Megaport is a network as a service provider, and we operate a global network infrastructure. And we manage the network through our SDN platform. So our network enables our customers like you to have very fast, flexible, on-demand to hundreds of global services that we are interconnected to today. We have point of presence at around 850 data centers around the world. We are also connected to around 200 data centers, which most clouds are on-ramp at. So for example, like AWS, Google, Azure, etc. So we are also still expanding, and definitely the number of the data center will definitely grow. So by leveraging on Megaport, we enable your businesses to get connected to the rest of our world. So as you can see, we deploy our service through our SDN platform. So every connections you get connected to us, is through that platform itself. So it's scalable and on demand. And then the most important thing is that you get to enjoy our global ecosystem. So now let's go through quickly on our Megaport products, okay? So we have three different products, different access product, okay? It's pretty straightforward. So we have this thing called Port and Megaport Cloud Router and Megaport Virtual Edge, yeah? So Port is actually basically a high-speed Ethernet interface that you can get connected to us. So for example, let's say you have a data center and would like to get connected to us, you can do it via Port, okay? So it's basically just NNI from your rack to the Megaport demarcation point in the data center using a physical cross connect. Okay, so likewise, if you don't own any data center, but you still have the requirements to get connected to the cloud, you can actually leverage on our Megaport Cloud Router, which is basically a layer 3 router to get cloud-to-cloud communications. So for example, let's say you have requirements for AWS and your Google, any of the CSP that to communicate to each other without going back to your data center, then this will be a very good option for you. Lastly, we have this Megaport Virtual Edge, okay, which is our, we offer the computes and also connectivities for you to host your next-gen firewall, SD-WAN gateway, virtual routers, and even integrated transit gateway in minutes. So in order to connect to our access product, which is our Port, Megaport, and this MVE, so you can actually use our VXC to connect to any endpoint our network. So what is a VXC? So it's actually a virtual cross connect. It's a layer 2 virtual cross connect, okay? And it's definitely different from, the physical cross connect in the data center. So it's basically a private VLAN, okay? And it's not exposed to the internet. And it's definitely not a VPN over internet as well. So you use that virtual cross connect to connect one endpoint in our network to another endpoint. So here is a quick snapshot to show you our global reach, okay? So as you can see, this is our 850 locations around the world that you can get connected to us, from North America to Europe and all the way to APAC as well. So let's get on to a live demo before we leave some time for Q&A later. Yep. So in today's demo, I would like to show you, some of the very useful resources that you can get it from our website as well. So I'm going to show you how you can get connected, how you can find us, our enable location through the search engine. Yeah. So you can just key Megaport enable locations. Okay. This will bring you to a page, Megaport enable locations, that you can find all our points of presence around the world. Okay, so for example, let's say you're interested to find out, certain countries, which are the data center that you can get connected to. You can use the filter button to find out the country. So for example, let's say you want to find out, which data center in Japan can you get connected to. You can just filter based on Japan. Okay, so it will list down all the data center that Megaport has present in. Okay, so for example, let's say in Japan, we have TY2. Okay, you also can do granular filtering like MCR enable location. So this will tell you that these are the location in Japan that have Megaport cloud router enable, which we have the compute for you to spin up a cloud router at a data center. Likewise, if you would like to see MV enable locations, which is our Megaport virtual edge as well. So you will find that, for example, at Tokyo Data Center, you have this MV compute for you to spin up an MV as well over there. Yeah. So I will do a check on Hong Kong as well. For example, you have customer requirements trying to connect from Japan to Hong Kong, and you want to find out the data centers that they can get connected to. So for Hong Kong, we have it in Equinix, Mega IX, HKT, and etc. So you can also filter based on the MCR, MV. Yeah. So for Singapore-wise, we have close up to like 16 locations, which is 16 data center that you can get connected to us. Okay, range from Equinix all the way Global Switch and the DR, STT, etc. So the other interesting thing that I'd like to point out is this Find My Location, because often a time we have customers like coming to us, trying to check that, my office is in this area, and then which is the nearest port should I get connected to. So what you can do is that you can just key in the address, of the location that you want to connect to. Okay. So for example, you can key in 23 Tai Seng. Okay. So what happened is that once you key in the 23 Tai Seng, okay, our map will give you to find the nearest port that can get connected to us. From here, the nearest will be Global Switch, followed by Rack Central and STT. Then this is the time whereby you can consider where you want to pick us up and connect to us. Yeah. So I hope that this is useful to you, so that if you do not want to come to us directly, at least there's a way to find out where we are present. Okay. And the other interesting thing I would like to show you is this view latency. Okay, because we do have customers like coming back to us, checking about how's the latency like from Singapore to Hong Kong, or maybe from Hong Kong to Japan or to the other part of the world. So what you can do is that you can click on this button called view latency. Okay, so this will give you a page on our latency updates. Okay, so for example, I have picked up, Singapore Tai Seng. Okay, and when you want to find out, what is the latency, if I want to get connected to Hong Kong, for example. Okay, you can find out that, okay, the round trip is around 30 milliseconds. Okay, likewise, you can do is you can filter the location over here. So let's say I'll filter HKT in Hong Kong. Yeah. So it will give you, the average latency for the month of March. Okay. So when you come to this page, you will always update with the latest, latency sampling data that we collected from our monitoring equipment. Yep. So for example, you also like to check, from Singapore to Japan, maybe TY2, for example, TY2. Okay, so from Singapore to Japan, you know, the latency will be around 73 millisecond round trip as well. Yeah. So if you like to find out, for example, just maybe from Hong Kong itself, you know, for Hong Kong, let's say we are looking at HK2, and then you want to get connected to Japan at TY2. So this will be a 43 millisecond round trip latency as well. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is this very interesting tools as well. Okay. Most of the thing you can actually just do a search. Okay. So you can put on Megaport pricing tools. Yeah. So when you click on Megaport pricing tools, you do a search, you know, it will come out these pricing tools. Yeah. So this is a very interesting and a very good pricing tools for you to use it. So for customers who are new to us, or maybe you're not even a customer yet, but you just want to find out the cost and then you do not want to come back. I mean, you do not want to contact us. You can use this pricing tool to have a gauge, you know, what is the estimated cost to connect from maybe from Singapore to Japan or from Japan to Hong Kong. Yeah. So what you can do is that you can key in your email address, okay, followed by the AN location that you want to get connected to. So for today, I will just like demo to you saying that I want to get connected from Singapore, okay? And then my BN location could be anywhere, okay? You can scroll down from the list, but I'm going to choose Hong Kong, okay? And then what is the connection type? Okay, the connection type refer that, are you going to connect to Hong Kong data center via a VXC, or are you going to connect to a Google Cloud in Hong Kong, or maybe even an IBM Cloud? Okay, so maybe let's choose AWS for this example, and let's crunch some numbers. Okay, so it will return you a page, you know, showing you the estimated cost for a 1 gig bandwidth at 1,006, you know, for a month duration. So this will be a monthly estimation. Likewise, if you think that, you know, the traffic is too much from Singapore to Hong Kong, that's not your requirement, you know, very interestingly, this slide bar itself allows you to move up and down, and the price will change. Yeah. So for example, today context, you know, maybe this customer is looking at just to connect to Hong Kong AWS at a 200 meg of bandwidth. Okay, you see that the cost will cost you around $500 to do a 200 meg. Yeah, so you're free to play around with the slide bar, because after a time when my customer came to the page, they thought that, oh, they must commit to a 1 gig bandwidth. Okay, it's not true. You can commit to any bandwidth starting from 1 meg, you know, all the way to 1 gig or 10 gig, depending on your port size. So we have this load scenario, which is very interesting as well. Okay, so if you click on the load scenario, it's a weekday and weekend changer. So we are going to simulate, okay, some of the traffic patterns, you know, that some customer might commit, you know, on a weekday and then on a weekend. So for example, for this particular customers, you know, the traffic might be lesser on the weekend, and the traffic might be more on a weekday basis. Okay, this will give you an estimated cost, you know, if you scale the bandwidth up and down according to your requirements. Yeah, so it will give you like $1,200, you know, for that monthly estimation for this kind of bandwidth commitment. Likewise, if you think that this is too much to commit, and then if you think that, oh, my requirement is only like running at 200 meg, okay, for example, you can free to slide down, okay, to get a gauge of the monthly estimate. So this is what I will do. Yeah, so you can see that the cost, you know, has to be significantly reduced, you know, from 1,006 to 400, you know, based on this kind of usage as well. Yeah. So that really depends on your requirement. Okay. So we have another load scenario too. Okay. Then we are going to load this. Okay. So these are some of the illustrations, you know, that, you know, certain traffic commitment will be higher, you know, on a Friday, you know, compared to a weekday as well. So it's going to show you that even you're committed to a 1 gig on a Friday, every Friday for the whole month, you know, the monthly estimated cost will cost you around $520 as well. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that these tools is as for interest to you, because you can use it anytime. It doesn't have to be a customer's in order to use it. So for our current customer, you have the deal estimator. You're free to use it as well. For non-customer, but if you want to have estimations of the cost, free to use the pricing tool. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you next to our portal. Yeah. So for our existing customers, if you can log into our portal, you will be able to access the portal. Okay, so this will be the landing page. Okay, once you access to our portal, the landing page, will show you all the points of presence, Megaport have around the world. So in a bird eye view, the portals also show you the ports, and the MCR, MV, and VXC on your account. Okay, so that is my demo account. So you can obviously see there's a lot of port, a lot of MCR and MV that we deploy. Yeah. So once you head over to services, yeah. So this is the place whereby you can create the port, Megaport Cloud Router, as well as a virtual edge on the fly. Yeah. So it's a fully self-managed portal that you can deploy the services, at your own time. So in today's demo, I'll just show you a very quick on how to create a port. Okay. As just now we has mentioned, for example, let's say we are looking at Hong Kong again. Okay. So I'll just filter based on Hong Kong. This will be all the data center that currently we have a presence at. Okay, so you can get connected to us. Yeah, so maybe for example, for Hong Kong, I would like to create a port in maybe HKT. Okay, then I'll press next. And then you have to determine the port speed. Yeah, so there'll be 1 or 10 gig. For demo, just put 1 gig. And then you have to create a port name for your port as well. Okay, then I'll leave the default setting, and then come with a minimum contract, with the price that you get to pay, and then you will press next. Okay, and then just add port. Yep. So don't forget to cut out your order. So it's like a shopping e-commerce shopping cart whereby you can just cut your order like this. Yep. And then you check your order, everything is good, then you can order now. Yeah. So this action will approximately take a few minutes, for it to get up and running. Since you're ordering a port, okay, so physically you need to have a cross connect, NNI back to our Megaport as well. So we will trigger you a LOA following that. Okay. While waiting for it to deploy, okay, I would like to also share with you these very interesting tools that you might or might not be aware, even as a customer. Yeah. So if you see a later, icon around here, you can just click on that. This is actually our live chat support, running live. So if you have any questions or any issues that when you're doing a deployment and then you need some help, okay, you can actually just click on this blue button, and then a chat bot was actually pop up. Okay. So you will actually pop up, and then you can just say, hi, support, I have some issues. Okay. Yeah. I would just say I'm doing a demo. Yeah. So you're doing yeah, so you're saying a demo. Okay. So somebody from our support team will then reply you probably in a few minutes, yeah, to pick up your questions and to support you. Yeah. Okay, so they reply, say, how can I help you today? And blah, blah, blah. You can continue your escalation with them. Okay, if you do not like that, you can actually email to us as well. Okay, so okay, my HKT has been deployed. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how we are going to use VXC, okay, to connect from Hong Kong port, okay, to another data center in Singapore. So for example, I'm going to connect from Hong Kong HKD to SG1 in Singapore. I'll just press next. Okay. Likewise, this will be a connection name. And then you got to choose, what's the rate limit that you want to get connected to. For example, I just want to connect at a 50 meg, and then, just choose a term for this VXC. Yep. Then you're going to add the VXC. Okay. Then remember to cut our order. Okay. Yeah, so what happened is that once you perform this action, it will create, it will interconnect from your data center in Hong Kong to Singapore. Yeah, that's how easy and how efficient, our portal, allows you to self-manage. And okay, I think the very last thing I want to show you is that we have this very interesting tools for you. So you can always head to Megaport document, okay, docs.megaport, okay, to find out our Megaport documentation as well. So we have a lot of informations like a knowledge base for you to play around and to check. Okay, I think the last thing I want to share is that if you have issues or if you have like requirements and you want to find out how you can use Megaport, to do your own design, we have a lot of deployment scenario for you to view, how you're going to do from scenario 1 all the way to scenario 8, yeah. So I think that's all for my demo today. So I will leave some questions for the Q&A. So
Hey,
maybe I'll
Serena,
like check Kimmy. Yeah, hi
Serena,
Kimmy.
thank you very much. We have some questions. Question
Yeah,
number
sure.
one is do you have a support team that we can get help from?
Oh, okay. Kimmy, that's a very good question. Yes, so as what I mentioned just now, you can use the live chat to do your escalations, for troubleshooting. Likewise, when you here at this doc.megaport.com, right? Okay, you can actually scroll down, okay, under this support, okay, you can find out a lot of information about our support. So we have a support team running 24/7, 365 day, okay, to be there supporting you. Okay, so if you do not like to use the live chat support, you can actually email us, so all the support informations are captured over here. Free feel to, come to this document, to find out, all our support structure and then how to contact them as well. Yep. Yeah, Kimmy, does that answer the question? Yeah.
Yep. Thank you very much, Serena. We have another question. Doesn't Megaport support API?
Yes, that's another good question as well. So, Megaport support API is based on REST. So, okay, so as I mentioned, this Megaport documentation also have that information. So once you scroll down, you should be able to see a API information. Okay, so we offer our Megaport API has a public resources. So for example, let's say you want to have a complete API reference, you can actually head over to this dev.megaport.com as well. Yeah, Kimmy.
Okay, thank you very much, Serena. Actually, we also have another question. Okay, the does Megaport offer last mile access?
Uh, does Megaport offer customized access? Okay, so our Megaport, sorry, as in access as in the GUI, is it? Can I get the question?
No. My question is, their question is that Megaport provide the local loop access.
Oh, okay, local loop access. Okay, sorry. So sorry. So we do not provide the last mile access as in local loop access. So so customers are free to work with any vendor, offering such services. Yeah. So some of the like the telcos, some of the SI, yeah, who can offer such services, you are free to work with them. So in short, we don't really provide the last mile access. Yeah. I hope that answer the question as well. Yeah. Kimmy, is there any?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think you do. Then actually we also have another question. Okay, about
Yeah.
the portal access. Do I need to be Megaport customer before I can access the portal?
Okay, understand. So for the portal access, okay, let me show you. So just give me one sec. So basically what you can do is that, okay, so if you are not a Megaport customers, okay, you still can create an access account for you to, play around. So what happened is that you can just create a new account over here. So in short, yes, you still can create your own Megaport account, even not a customer with us yet. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Serena. You have answered all questions we have. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I have nothing. So if there's no more question on the ground, okay, maybe perhaps I would like to just show you the very last thing that you could actually get connected to us as well. So you can head over to our Megaport website. Okay. Okay. So this is our latest website revamp. So you are free to browse around, and then if you have any questions or you would like to have a demo, you can just use us, book a demo and then get connected to us. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for your time today. So if there's no more question, then I think we can end the session. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. That was brilliant. Thank you, Serena, and thank you, Kimmy, for helping with those questions there. And mostly thanks to all of our viewers on LinkedIn Live and via Zoom. Our tech drop-ins are weekly, so we'll see you all next Friday. Look out for an email that should be in your inboxes tomorrow with a rego link for next week's session, or you can join live via LinkedIn. Thanks again, Serena and Kimmy, and thanks again to all our viewers. We'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.